basic structure of the Indian Constitution. We adopted the democratic system. What is democracy says? It is the will of the people. So what is the will? It is the intention of the people. By making mandatory to voting, it is against the will of the people. So it clearly shows we are violating the democratical principle. Though you are ready to violate the basic structure of the Indian Constitution, whether it is possible. This is a fundamental question number one. You can't make voting as a mandatory because it violates the basic structure of the Indian Constitution. It's a point number one. And also, I would like to quote one case, that is 2023. The citation of that case is 8 SCC 8571. In this case, the case name is something Subhash Desai versus Union of India. In this case, the judge clearly held that voting is a right to given to the person, and it cannot be mandatory, and you cannot force one person to vote. It is clearly held by the judges because we have the provision. Show me the single provision which seeks the voting is a mandatory. I can say section 79 clause D of the Representation of People Act clearly state that one person have the right to vote. At the same time, he can deny to vote. He have that right. We have the provision for it. So now come, what is the reason for people not voting? So it can be a reason that people not believe in present law which goes into the election. Yes, we are the youth. We need some changes because we are following older law. We don't want that. We want changes. For example, I have this right. I have right to strike. I can show in here because I'm not. What's the expenses of the election in India? India is the number one country who spent lot of money to the election. I'm not believing that. What can I do? I can refuse to vote. That is my indirect strike. That is called enumerated right. It is part of the fundamental rights. So I have right to choose. Yes, of course, voting is not a fundamental right, but voting is a constitutional right. How can you violate the constitutional right? Whether it is a basic structure of the Indian Constitution, that is a fundamental problem here. So I have right to choose. You making mandatory, and you directly violate my Article 21 right to life. It is my fundamental right. No one can violate it. It's a fundamental problem. How can you violate the basic structure and the right to life? It is not possible. And Ambedkar, while deciding the Representation of People Act bill, he refused. Don't want to make mandate. It's a duty of the people. If they will, they can elect. To giving one neutral option to the people, if they are not like any party, they can select a neutral. It is equal to right to choose. No, because he not believe in all the system. He wants some changes. It is a problem. And Ambedkar, because of the reason Ambedkar against of the mandatory election, and also the Goswami committee said that voting should not be mandatory because it's a duty. Australia now mandate the voting. Every person should be vote. So they call it as a mature democracy. I call it is not a democracy. It's the end of the democracy. Democracy is not a force. Democracy is the will of the people. Please note it. Consider this as a point. And also 2023, one PA was filed by the Upadhyaya advocate, and the court asked that show me the single provision which seeks the mandatory to voting. Nothing provision of there. And the judge said, you make us to vote someone who is staying in Chennai and he left everything and he need to go Srinagar to cast their vote. If he is not go, police need to catch him and police need to take him from the Chennai and go to Singapore and casting the vote. Whether it is possible? It is always the will of the people. We are living in India. We are not living in any dictatorship country. So have to understand what is this first. Voting should not be mandatory. It is the basic principle of the human being, and it is clear what is that violation of human right, basic structure, and fundamental rights. And also, right to choose is a fundamental right. No one can be violated. It's a part of the Article 21. It's said in Shakti Mohini case. And please go through that case. So saying this, so we the youth need changes. Question everything. Make it this country as a developed country. Don't believe in anything. Don't believe without questioning, as said by H. Narasimhaiah. So thank you for everything, for giving wonderful opportunities.